Hello guys, my name is Dr. Huma Hassan and I am continuing the series on the lectures of SCERT class 11th. Okay, so previously I have explained what is the meaning of anthropology, in which I try to highlight that how you people have to read your SCERT Kerala board, and there you need to learn that anthropology is a holistic study of a mankind. It means that we are reading about man's evolution both in biological and social aspect manner. To emphasize, to emphasize that how holism can be understood when we are analyzing the meaning of anthropology, we do have to reflect on biosocial aspect. Okay, so the core point is that we are learning about diversity. We are learning about variation among Homo sapiens sapiens. Okay, and then we can see modern men. Now, why anthropology is a unique discipline? It is a unique discipline because it is focusing on biosocial aspect. Okay, so we are learning about that what makes human different from other species biologically, and how once we have become different, we have created social cultural aspect. Now, after understanding these dimensions, we do have clarity on the basic nature of anthropology. Okay, so anthropology is the most humanistic and most scientific. It means that whatsoever we anthropologists are explaining with respect to humans, okay, we are saying it with evidences. Okay, so that is the important part. That is a core point which we need to emphasize. It means that anthropology is holistic, comparative, and integrated science. Okay, so comparative means that wheresoever anthropologists are finding humans, whether living or dead. So when I am saying living or dead, it means that we are examining fossils of our ancestors to know that how we have originated. Okay, to understand the lineages, to have the phylogenetic status of humans. So it means it doesn't matter. So it means that it doesn't matter whether we are analyzing living humans or non-living. Okay, so if they are dead, still they are matter of our discussion. Still we are very much interested to know about their origin. We will going to use DNA technologies, right? We are going to understand about how about, like, how many trauma they had that the deceased person must have faced, or so many enriched details we learn when we do paleoanthropology, that is when we are doing fossil evidences. Okay, and with respect to living humans, then we are understanding about that particular humans, okay, in bio and social aspects. Okay, so biologically we are trying to know about their race, about their genetic markers, their diseases, and also we learn about their social cultural aspects. Okay, their food habit, their dress habit, their religion, their political dimension, their economical dimension. So I think so far you must have got clarity with respect to biosocial aspect. How do we do that? Now the next question is, how do we do that? Okay, so anthropologists are totally dependent on field science. Okay, so after getting this definition, you can write down this definition. Okay, that anthropology is a comparative integrated discipline that examines all societies, ancient and modern, as well as simple and complex. How do we do that? So that is after, like, knowing how do we do that, it is bringing to us another important topic, that is anthropology, a field science. So this is very important, and anthropology में ये question आया भी है. So field science, so another name of anthropology can be a field science. Okay, so what is a field science, guys? Field science means that we are going on field to collect our data. Now, what is a common belief that, I would say that I have seen lot many aspirants test papers, and whensoever I'm examining their understanding, their conceptual clarity on the field science, they are only writing field science as respect to social cultural anthropologist work. Okay, they are referring to Malinowski, Radcliffe Brown, Edmund Leach. Okay, David Morgan, Shenedier, okay. So they are David Shenedier or Caitlin Go, Margaret Mead. So they are trying to explain field science as if that it is only a tool of social cultural anthropologists. However, it is not only a field of social cultural anthropologists. Physical anthropologists are also dependent on field. Okay, so let's understand first of all how SCERT has explained field science, and then I would add on that particular dimension that is a critical aspect. Okay, so you should be getting benefit of my classes like that only. So some part you can directly take it from SCERT. I mean, it is mentioned over there, and I would be opening the PPT as well. Okay, so this is a first of all, please mention the page number what I am explaining of Kerala board. It is, I think, it is page number 13. Okay, so you people can open the page number 13, and today I'm explaining anthropology of field science. Okay, I'm explaining anthropology of field science. See guys, it is so very important for all of us to have fundamentals clear, and fundamentals can be clear when we are reading the government textbook. Okay, so let's understand this part. Okay, so this is page number 13, and how you will have to take up the notes I would be bringing here. Okay, so anthropology of field science, and we are going to understand about that. So this is a point which I have explained in my previous lecture. Okay, and after this it is about a field science. So you can write down from my board. Fieldwork. Fieldwork is the backbone of anthropological research. So anthropologists use participant observation as one of the important techniques. So you will have to make a box and make a note on participant observation first of all. Okay. So see here, you will see one dimension, one important point. Physical and biological scientists need a laboratory for conducting experiments. Okay, so they are saying that they might go and conduct their research. Physical and biological anthropologists, that they require to conduct experiments laboratory. But I will explain you more important or in-depth understanding. Okay, beyond SCERT. So you would see field is the laboratory which includes any place where peoples and cultures are found. This makes biological anthropologists different. Okay, this makes physical anthropologists different from other specialists. Okay, so let's just say I might be doing DNA analysis, I might be conducting forensic studies. Okay, but for physical anthropologists, it is so very important to visit and collect their data from the field. Okay, because of holistic dimension, holistic nature of anthropology. For instance, if even I am analyzing some skeleton, I am analyzing fossils, I am applying dating methods such as carbon dating method or potassium argon dating method or thermoluminescence dating methods. There are a lot many dating methods I am analyzing. I cannot be dependent only on dating methods while applying and analyzing the skeletons. I also have to see other archaeological evidences. Okay, I do have to depend on ethnoarchaeology. So I might be doing forensic studies on that fossils, but that doesn't mean that I'm only looking at the one perspective. So there has to be social, linguistic, cultural, archaeological aspects also. Okay, so in this manner, physical anthropologist has to go on the field, okay, to collect their data. Now, this example I have given with respect to biological anthropologists, that if they are conducting a research on fossil evidences. Now, what about those biological anthropologists, physical anthropologists, who are conducting their research to understand evolutionary patterns of humans? So, I will now give you an example from primatology. So, those physical anthropologists who are observing primates' behavior, their patterns, their social organization, to understand the similarities and the differences of primates with humans. Okay, when they are trying to understand how we have originated, we are not only dependent on the physical appearances. Okay, we are also dependent that how we have borrowed, or how there are similarities. Okay, so how there are similarities between the primates. So I would be analyzing the primates behavior as well, to have comparative understanding. For instance, I would like to tell about Jane Goodall, and UPSC did ask question on Jane Goodall methodology. So when she is observing primates behavior, she is like, in depth analyzing their characteristics, how they are responding, the speech they try to speak, and their gestures. So she's also comparing, like, she's also comparing chimpanzees, orangutans, gorillas with the behavior of humans. Okay, so she has to be on field, even though she is physical anthropologist. So she is collecting her data by visiting on the field. So this is bringing my point where I was saying that it is commonly believed that only social cultural anthropologists are dependent on field to collect their data. No, even those who are looking into some sort of genetic markers. Okay, for instance, I am conducting a research, and I'm a physical anthropologist, and I'm looking into the diseases. Okay, so health and diseases is my topic, or is my research question. Okay, so I'm looking, let's just say I'm looking that I am conducting my study on certain field. Okay, and I'm looking XYZ tribes. Okay, and this particular tribe is living in an isolation. Let's just say I am looking in India. Okay, there are a lot of tribal communities in India. So I'm looking at the Oraon tribe, or the Khasi tribe, or the Bills tribe. Okay, so I am trying to understand these specific or particularly vulnerable tribal groups. Okay, so I'm not only going to see their cultural aspects, I would also analyze them physically. Okay, and to know that how their health conditions are, what type of diseases they are prone to or vulnerable to. For instance, you would see that most many tribal groups in India, they are suffering from waterborne diseases. So we do have a different impact. We do have a different impact of rehabilitation. We do have a different impact on tribals with respect to displacement whensoever we are having any developmental projects in these hilly areas where these tribals are living. Now, to know about how their bodies are responding to particular vaccines or the medicines, or I have to just examine them. So I would be collecting their, blood, and I would be using it in the laboratory, and I would be researching it. But it will not be the only one dimension. So even though I am dependent on genetic analysis, I am dependent on laboratory, I have to use certain tools and techniques which is there in laboratory only. So I can conduct that experiment or that analysis in laboratory. But I also have to visit field, on the field. So this is an integral dimension, this is an integral part which you people have to add whensoever you are writing about the field science. Okay, so it means that even physical anthropologists, even natural anthropologists who are looking at physical aspects of humans, they are also dependent on field. Okay, so this is, you people can add it up. Now I was telling about the participant observation. So what is participant observation? Participant observation coming from the participant word only. So as a researcher, I am visiting certain field and I am going to participate in their day-to-day lives. I would be participating in their routine life. Okay, so I would be looking what is happening in their life as a researcher and also from their perspectives as well. Okay, so this is a participant observation and you should be making 20 mark answers on participant observation. Okay, so this is I have explained to all of you. Then you can talk about that fieldwork is the heart and soul of anthropology as it is a field science. It is a condition where the physical presence of anthropologists is considered mandatory. It helps to observe phenomena through one's own sense. In fact, the kind of techniques such as participant observation or ethnography or ethnoarchaeology, the emphasizes on being on being on your toes to understand people behavior. It does come, it emanates from field only. And this tradition has been followed by different social sciences discipline from anthropology. So you can say that anthropology is a pioneer who reflected, which, like, anthropology is definitely a pioneer, and it is that discipline where you can see that from the beginning, travelers or anthropologists were dependent on field only. Okay, so it is that discipline जिसने बहुत ज़्यादा contribute करा है, which has contributed immensely on the importance of field work, and that is why the techniques or the you can say tools of field science has been taken away from anthropology to different social sciences discipline. Okay, so field work के ऊपर भी आपको एक important question बनाना होगा, and this is how you people can write. So this is Malinowski, and Malinowski is conducting a research and he had given a very important concept called colouring ceremony. Okay, so in coming lectures I would be explaining about the colouring ceremony. Now very quickly you would come to the next part, that is the major branches of anthropology. Okay, so after analyzing and understanding the meaning of anthropology, you must have now realized that it seems that we are understanding everything with respect to humans, whether it's physical or social culture part. So the branches of anthropology is another important fundamental, I would say, part where you should have clarity. Okay, so if we'll talk about the branches, basically we do have two major branches, that is bio and social part. And then to understand about bio and social branches, we do have another disciplines such as archaeology and linguistic anthropology. And overall understanding of anthropology is bringing another branches, that is applied anthropology. So in other words, we do have 5 branches of anthropology. One is biological anthropology. So in biological anthropology, you do have primatology, you have paleontology, you have genetics, you have biological evolution, you have forensic anthropology, you have epidemiological anthropology, you do have growth and human development. It all comes under the category of biological anthropology. Even when you are trying to know about the phylogenetic status, fossil evidences, it would come under the category of biological anthropology. Now, you can understand about biological evolution by depending on another branch, that is archaeological anthropology. Okay, so that means you can't go back what had happened million years ago. For that, you need to be dependent on facts, material facts. Okay, so we are borrowing and understanding what had happened in the past through archaeological anthropology. Now let's understand about social cultural anthropology. So in social cultural anthropology, you have various branches such as family, marriage, kinship. So social anthropology, you're trying to understand the culture. Then you have political anthropology, economic anthropology, religion and society or religion anthropology. Then there are many anthropological theories involved. So to understand how we have created culture and society, we are dependent on social cultural anthropology. Now, to know how we have created culture, how we have created norms, values, we are again dependent on linguistic anthropology. Okay, because we do know that language has specific meanings. Okay, तो language का एक specific meaning है जो आप समझते हैं, right, to understand any social institution. So फिर linguistic anthropology ऐसे आपके पास आएगा, यहाँ से आपको linguistic anthropology समझना है. Now in linguistic anthropology also you have two major I would say dimensions or branches. Okay, so in one of the branches you need to understand physical anatomy. Okay, so how we humans can speak. So there are a lot of physical anatomy involved within humans, so modern humans, जिसकी वजह से आप बोलते हैं. For example, if I'll begin with your brain, so Broca area, Wernicke area, okay, in your brain, and there left your brain. So brain lateralization. What is brain lateralization? So your right hand side brain and your left hand side brain. So left hemisphere, right hemisphere, they both are working in coordination. Okay, so it is going to be clearer to us when we are going to understand how motor skills develop, how our brain is working. Okay, so with respect to speech or the articulation, there are two specific regions in the brain which is responsible for language and communication, that is Broca and Wernicke area. ओके, सो वो कौन से फ्रंटल लोब्स में है, कौन से एरिया में है, वो कौन कौन सा काम करता है, राइट. सो द थिंग इज दैट you must have observed. Okay, so there are few humans who keep on repeating some word. Okay, so Broca Wernicke area, when they people were, Broca is a professor who had brought this region, and also the Wernicke area, जहाँ पे इन लोगों ने explain करा कि कैसे your brain is also very much involved in the anatomy of speech. So you must have observed कि कभी कभी कुछ लोग एक चीज बात करते रहते हैं, टान टान टान, the specific word, so या फिर वो फंबल करते हैं. So it is also because of there is some sort of problem in that particular region, and Wernicke area is responsible for comprehension. Okay, so emotions कैसे समझने हैं, right, किस तरीके से so it's everything involved. And then how your lips are also responsible, how your lungs are also responsible when you are speaking. Okay, your teeth, and then there are lot many dimensions, there are lot many parts physically which are responsible for us to speak. It is just not the tongue, it is just not the vocal tract. So you have pharynx area, larynx area in your in your neck. So you do have to understand that anatomy of language. So that is going to be the part of physical anthropology. So the way I have explained that in archaeological anthropology you are dependent on the material fact, but you're also dependent on ethnoarchaeology, that is the culture. So with this material facts in archaeological anthropology, we are also trying to understand the social cultural part. So physical में archaeology दोनों dependent है. Similarly, linguistic anthropology में भी you have physical anatomy involved, जिसकी वजह से आप बात कर पाते हैं. And then we are understanding the different dialects, the different meanings, different gestures. Okay, in in particular region. Okay, for example, we have color system. So Edmund Leach had spoke about the color system, that how he had given the example of traffic light, that how in the world you have red, yellow, and green color, and it signifies certain action. But then we do have a lot of criticism. Edmund Leach की traffic light की theory में काफी criticism हुआ है, because he was talking about that there is some transition point. He has criticized actually Levi Strauss' binary opposition theory. But this is all part of linguistic anthropology, which we are going to read later. But this linguistic anthropology, the dimension which I have just explained, it is a part of social cultural part. Okay, so for example, UPSC did several times ask question on separate verb hypothesis, that how we are not only listening, but we are we are some sort of making the sense that how do we have to respond. So this is symbolic interactionism. Okay, so that means that the branches of anthropology play significant role in understanding humans holistically. Okay, so this is some extra point which I have explained to all of you to understand about physical anthropology, and that is what you people have to do it. Okay, you please wait outside. So this is what you people have to do. So this is the physical anthropology which you people have to understand. So this is the branches of anthropology, and I have just explained to all of you about biological anthropology, right? social cultural anthropology, archaeological anthropology, and linguistic anthropology. So you do have these four major branches. Okay, you do have these four major branches, and this understanding is bringing another branch, that is applied anthropology. I hope it is all very clear to all of you that how you people have to write your crux very specific notes, because you people have to revise it multiple times. Okay, so this is how you people can understand. Okay, so you can say that the scope of anthropology is vast. So in biological anthropology also you have sub branches: social cultural anthropology, archaeological anthropology, and linguistic anthropology, which I have just explained to all of you. Okay, then in coming classes, I would be explaining more about biological anthropology. Okay, specifically, I would be explaining about biological anthropology in detail. Similarly, I would explain about social culture part, linguistic anthropology, archaeological, and so on. So my endeavor is, what I have planned, that at least I should give free explanation, free reading to all those who cannot afford coaching, who cannot come, and or who wants to do a self study. So अगर जब आपको self study करना है guys, so you people have to first of all have your basic clear. और basic clear करने के लिए don't pay anywhere. ठीक है, कहीं से भी आप लोगों को, and don't depend on AI tool also. Read your SCERT. So मैं आपका class 11th and class 12th दोनों NCERT कवर SCERT कवर अप करूंगी, so that you people can have quick understanding. अब इस लेक्चर के बाद जो पॉइंट्स मैंने आपको बताए उसके नोट्स बनाओ, and then read your SCERT Kerala board. Okay, I hope you people are actually getting benefit out of my classes. Thank you.